The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the individual hosts and do not necessarily reflect the views or position of Glickman Digital Media, Your Culture's Edge Podcast Network, our shareholders, and our sponsors. This is a Glickman Digital Media original production. Welcome to Growing Your Life with Debbie Santillo. Listen to Deb as she talks to you about her struggles, her opportunities, and her blessings. She gives wisdom with a dose of common sense. She shares her career being a model actress, as well as a writer for a number of publications. And no, here is Debbie Santillo, but you can call her Deb.
Growing Your Life with Debbie Santillo. Kind of a gloomy day. Rain the last couple days. Gets you sitting a little more still sometimes, looking around, checking things out. But isn't that what's kind of going on in the world? I mean, I feel like, we had a generation of people who really pressed, let's say in the 50s, then really tried to have a solid ground in the 60s and developed their, families and moved on. People had, felt like they were kind of on solid ground. I mean, there was always political things going on and things in the world, but everyone was doing their thing. I grew up in the city myself, and I just got done reading a whole bunch of different comments on old friends' social media, and everyone was talking about how great the old neighborhood was and how people aren't brought up like that anymore and hardly know their neighbors, and how wonderful it was that boys used to be able to get together at a nearby park and just play all sorts of sports or be inside and play with the pool table, and parents didn't even have to worry about where you were. They'd be like, go out and play. And they just expected you to be home before those darn city lights came on. Like, those lights came on, it meant dusk was coming, it was getting dark, your butt better be home, it was dinner time, you had to, start getting home. And it was a wonderful life, and I agree. It was a wonderful life. It was just the best. I could fling a pair of ice skates over my shoulder. I don't even remember if I told my mother where I was going. And I'd walk, the 7 blocks or so down a street till I got to that park where there was ice skating rink, and I would just be all alone sometimes and hopefully, join up with people that I knew there once I got there. But I knew I wanted to go ice skating, and off I went. Never had to worry about it. I wouldn't send my 16-year-old walking down the street these days all alone, much less my 9-year-old. Life is changing. Yeah, you have to roll with the tide. You have to not accept every single thing that's going on, but what you do is you can look around like I've been doing, take note of what's happening. Some things I'm going to like what I see. Some things I'm not going to like what I see. I mean, you can go to the suburbs nowadays and find hordes of families supporting their children, having sports because of their high schools, really enjoying themselves. Everyone's very healthy and wholesome. Once we moved our children out to a different suburb where we are still living now, I used to make pots of chili and have nacho chips and bring bowls and spoons and napkins and just put a little tub out, and if anybody wanted to throw a buck in, to the parents would come. They all after a while got to know that Deb was going to bring food, and people would just throw a buck in for each person that was grabbing a bowl of chili with chips and bottles of water or whatever, and it was just a real friendly thing to do. But I really feel like what I was doing, because of my background and because of how I was raised and how I was raised to just be real open and real friendly with everybody, and like a community. They were my new community. They were the baseball community for my son, or they were the soccer community for my kids through our church. I just tried to help to join everyone together, because that's the way we were when we were kids. So instead of arguing with people, what I've decided to do is I'm just going to join in, and I'm going to try to bring my brand of community and wholesomeness and friendliness and love and charity to wherever I go, which is pretty much what I'm known for. People that know me say I'm very giving, I'm very charitable, I'm very responsible. Am I going to put up with any, nasty stuff, or people being, downright evil or bad? And some people say, there's people aren't evil. It's like, well, some people have kind of really bad attitudes and intentions. I'm not going to get in any fist fights, trust me, but I'm going to eliminate those people from my space as far as walking away or not including them or not engaging in, something that's going on that's not right. So I just want to let you know that that's one of the ways in which I've grown as a human being. I have decided I'm just going to be like the seeds or the little teeny seedling plants that I plant in my garden. Wherever I go, I usually take root, and I usually beautify wherever I am, just because the way I am, by adding a good attitude, like I said, charity and friendliness, sense of community. And I'm just going to be that pretty flower in that garden, and I'm just going to grow. And when my season is over for being in that area or belonging to that group, hey, I might die at the roots because it just can't be done anymore, or I might get upplanted and go somewhere else. Then again, there have been places that I've been planted and I've been split, and then years after that I'm split again, and I just take more root, and I'm all in. But I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to always try to be there for just the sake of being somebody positive in the group. I'm not going to throw any signs, even if I don't agree. If I am a part of a business or something, I'm going to help it to grow, and I'm going to work darn hard, just like I do in my gardens. I have sweat pouring off of me when I'm working in the spring in my gardens. I have gorgeous gardens right now. It's fall. Everything's red, purple, yellow, orange, white, blue, green. It's gorgeous. I worked really hard for that. I invested a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of energy. That's what I'm doing with my life. I'm just going to keep growing. I'm just going to keep rolling out. I'm just going to keep planting. I'm just going to keep taking root wherever I can. And if I find that it's just not my place anymore, then hey, I'll just transplant myself somewhere else. But I'll always, always, always do my best. And I hope that this encourages you if you're facing some kind of intense difficulty, or you're stressed, or you don't know what to do, or you're not comfortable anymore where you are. Think about it. Is it your place to be planted anymore? If it is, maybe you need a little bit of a break, or maybe you need to be refreshed or something. Just like we put fertilizer and water on plants, maybe you need to kind of, refresh yourself so that your roots can be nice and strong and not die out. Maybe you're overwhelmed and you need to kind of cut down into yourself and spread yourself out a little bit better because things are too concentrated in one area. Or maybe there's too much of you in one area, so maybe you need to, like I do every once in a while in my garden, I kind of sometimes cut back. I actually pull things up by the bulb or by the root, because it's like, all right, it's just too much in this area now. It's beautiful, but like it's getting carried away. Sometimes we've got to do that too. But try to do it in a positive way. Be beautiful about it. Be happy about it. And always, always keep growing. Don't be stagnant. Don't die out. Don't rot. Don't be discouraged. You can do it. This is Deb Santillo with Growing Your Life.
Growing Your Life was created by Debbie Santillo, and developed, produced, edited, original music by CJ Glickman. This is Your Culture's Edge Podcast Network presentation, and a Glickman Digital Media original production, all right reserved.